Huel Essential is the newest Huel product, but not a lot of people are talking about it.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I got this comment from Good John Jr., so thank you for posting this, saying, hey Mark, I don't know if you've heard of Huel Essential, but no one's really been talking about it. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? So let's get into the details, because short review, and I like to get kind of right into the point in all my videos, short review, I think there is a place for Huel Essential, and I do like the idea and concept. However, with that being said, I personally will never buy it. Here's why. First off, what is Huel Essential? I'm on the site right now, and as you can see, Huel Essential is our most affordable Huel ever. So look at it kind of like budget Huel, essentially, where it's only $1.49 per meal, and in addition, each bag contains approximately 22 meals. When it comes to regular Huel, it's about 17 meals per bag. If I go here to show you the price breakdown, if you look at Huel Essential versus Huel Original or Huel White, and the Black Edition, you can see right here the overall breakdown. Now, for me, and this is probably what you're guessing for a lot of people who have seen my videos, I like higher protein. You know, I'm big into working out, and that's why I love Huel Black. I only buy Huel Black. So as you can see, you get half of the protein, but again, remember, it is a budget Huel, and I think for a lot of people, this actually works really well in terms of 20 grams of protein and 57 grams of carbs. I think the carb amount is a bit high for me personally, but again, remember, you are getting budget Huel, and the idea is that, especially when you look at the meal, it's $1 per meal cheaper than Huel Black, or in this case, about 80-ish cents cheaper per meal compared to Huel White. Here's where things get tricky though. Looking, like, say, at the vitamins and minerals, I'm gonna scroll down here to kind of the added stuff. I know, kind of a bad word for that, but I like to make things very simple in my videos. You can see I have omega-3s, omega-6s. That's awesome. If I go to Huel Black, though, you can see, one, I'm getting more, right, per serving. And as you can see, I have some additional stuff, again, for lack of a better word, that's just a lot better for me in a more complete formula compared to just this. Another example is the actual amount per vitamin. So take, like, say, magnesium and zinc. Again, just to pick two random ones. I have 84 milligrams of magnesium per serving, 3 milligrams of zinc per serving. If I go to Huel Black, however, going up here, I have 110 milligrams and 4.8 milligrams. If I, let's say, look at vitamin C on Huel Essential, it's 28 milligrams, as opposed to vitamin C here on Huel Black, it is 64 milligrams. So what this is telling me, again, just kind of scraping through the vitamins and minerals rather quickly, is that Huel Essential, I guess as it sounds in terms of the name, doesn't have as much of a complete formula and doesn't have as much ingredients, especially in terms of each vitamin and mineral, compared to Huel Black and, of course, Huel White as well. With all that being said, though, I don't think Huel Essential is a bad product. I want to be very honest about that. There's been some products I've reviewed on this channel where I'm like, you know what, just don't buy it at all. I don't think it's worth it for anybody. However, for Huel Essential, I think it really depends upon the person. Like for me, showing you again the big macro breakdown, I like more protein. So for me, Huel Essential doesn't really fit in my overall dietary guidelines for me personally, but for someone else, it definitely could. In addition, for me personally, the way I have Huel is I look at Huel as a complete meal replacement. So if I'm traveling, if, like, say, I just have a very busy day, I say, okay, instead of having normal food, so to speak, I'm having Huel, right? It's a replacement. So if I'm entirely replacing a meal with Huel, I want to make sure I'm getting as much stuff in my Huel shake as possible, which is why Huel Black, as I showed you, just kind of skimming through real quick even, has a way more complete formula, and there's more to it than Huel Essential. So for me personally, that extra $1 per meal I'm going to spend, completely worth it just to have a better formula. However, like say you have Huel shakes, for example, and I know that's very popular for a lot of people, where you have, let's say, Huel plus a banana, some fruit, you know, however you want to do it. Well, that to me makes a lot more sense to have Huel Essential. You don't need all this crazy stuff packed into one shake. You can combine it with other nutrients if you want. Let's say if you like to have, like, say, a nice Huel shake in the morning, but you don't want to have like a huge meal, because I will say, I mean, Huel Black, 40 grams of protein, like say if you're not used to that much protein in one meal, it can be a lot. With Huel Essential, you're getting a nice meal that isn't crazy packed with all this stuff. You are still getting a decent meal, and again, especially if actually you only replace one meal a day with Huel, or like say you combine Huel with other items, like say you want to have, I don't know, Huel and toast in the morning or whatever. Like, I do know some people who would like to have Huel in addition to just like a couple snacks here and there. I think Huel Essential is a great option. And then, of course, talking about the price, I mean, it is the cheapest Huel option, period. And I do like the amount of servings. I will say, and I don't know why, I gotta be honest, it is interesting to me that the typical Huel bags only have 17 servings. I don't know why 17. Maybe that's just the random number they kind of fell on. I do wish it was a little bit more because I feel like 17 is such like an odd number. I feel like I'd rather either like 14 or like 30 because that way I can budget and kind of like plan my meals more in advance, so to speak. And with Huel Essential having 22 meals per bag, I think it's just easier to kind of plan things out a little bit more in advance. Of course, you get one bag and it lasts longer and it's cheaper.